Hi everyone, welcome back to another video of CambiHub, and in today's video we'll be starting with the lecture 2 of pseudocodes. If you haven't watched lecture 1, we covered structure charts, we covered flow charts, we covered all of the the theory, the program development life cycle, right? We covered that in lecture 1. If you want, you can go to our channel below and then go to the playlist option. There you'll find the playlist for IGCSE Computer Science 0478. You click on the playlist, you will find all of the videos topic wise. The theory videos, the full series is complete for theory as of now, right? And we are starting with the pseudocodes lecture 2, right? So you can find all of the lectures there organized in order, right? Let's start with today's lecture. Today's lecture's name is operators, data types, variables and constants and declarations. So obviously we'll be studying all of these topics. We'll be studying arithmetic and logical operators. Data types will be studying integer, real, string, character, boolean, all of these data types. Difference between a variable and constant, or difference between variables and constants, right? And then at the end we'll be studying declaring variables and constants. How do you declare variables and constants? What is the way of declarations, right? So let's start with the video without wasting any more time with the first topic, that is operators. First, let's start with the arithmetic operators. So what are the arithmetic operators? All of the operators that we use in normal maths, right? Addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, exponents, raising to the power, right? All of these things. So what is the operator for addition? We all know, even in normal maths, the operator for addition is plus. A simple plus sign. So if in my program I need to add A and B, I will simply write A plus B. Right? I'll simply write A plus B. When I have to do subtraction, obviously, we all know the sign for subtraction also. This will be A minus B. Right? For multiplication, however, we used to write this sign. Right? If I had to write A into B, we used to do this. However, this does not exist in your keyboard, right? Programming is done on device, right? On a device. If you're using a laptop right now, or even if you're using a phone, just get a keyboard, right? Or you can also use the typing keyboard of your phone. Just try opening that and you won't find the cross symbol there. We don't use X. X is a different letter, right? We don't have this symbol in our keyboard. Hence, the symbol that we use is a star. Right, is a star. So if I had to write A into B in my program, I'll write it as A star B. Right, I'll write it as A star B. Right, when I have to write division, right, now in division also we used to use this sign, but please make note that this sign does not exist in your keyboard. Hence, obviously, we cannot use this sign. What sign do we use? We use a simple slash. So if I have to write A into B, I would write A into, A divided by B, I would write A divided by B in this way, right? Raised to the power. How do we write raised to the power? If I have to write in normal terms, we write 4 raised to the power 5. But again in programming, we don't write it this way. If I have to do A raised to the power B, I have to do A raised to the power B, right? If I have to do this, I would do it as, first of all, this is the symbol. A circumflex or a hat is used, right? A hat symbol. So I'll write A hat B, right? A hat B. This means this is A raised to the power B. Now we know this is the base, right? And this is the exponent, right? This is maths, right? This is not CS. This is not computer science. So how do we write it? Please remember, we write it this way. The first number should always be your base, right? And the number after this symbol should be your power or your exponent, right? Please make sure that it is in this format. So A power B it means A raised to the power B. Please make a note that A power B is different than B power A. Because B power A means B raised to the power A. Because we have written base first and exponent afterwards, right? So please make sure. So these are the arithmetic operators. Let's move on to the logical operators. Moving on to logical and other operators. So these are the list of all of the operators. Let's say we have to apply each operator between A and B. So let's see how we can apply these operators between A and B. How would you apply greater than? If I have to say A is greater than B, so I can write A is greater than B. Pretty simple, all of us can understand this because this is mathematics, right? Less than, suppose A is less than B, so this will be A is less than B. Equal to, if A is equal to B, it will be A is equal to B. If A is greater than or equal to B, right? So we don't know what A is, but A will either be greater than or it can be equal to B. Please make sure in mathematics we use this symbol, but this symbol does not exist in your keyboard, right? However, we can convert this symbol to this, right? This symbol means this, right? In mathematics we do have this symbol, but in programming we don't have this symbol. We have this symbol, right? So if I have to say A is greater than or equal to B, I would say A is greater than equal to B. If I have to say A is less than equal to B, so I would say A is less than equal to B. If I have to say not equal to, please make sure not equal to in mathematics we make like this. But this does not exist in programming, right? And in those people who have also done Python, right? They use this. They use this. This also does not exist in pseudocodes, right? What Cambridge recommends for not equal to this, if I have to say A is not equal to B, I would use the symbol this. A is not equal to B. Both, if I have to say, suppose I have a situation now where I have to choose between A and B, right? If I have to choose between A and B, A and B, this and symbol means both. So I have to take both A and B. If I have to take both A and B, I use this and operator. So how would I write it? I would write A and in capital B. Right? A and B. If I have to say I need to take either of them, I can take A or I can take B or I can take both of them, right? Then I will use A or B, right? If I have to do opposite of A, right? This is only for a single operator. It cannot be a single, what do we call input? It cannot be A and B both, right? So it can either be A or B, right? So not just means opposite. So if A is 1 and if I do not of A, right, so A will become 0 because A does the opposite of whatever the original value is, right? Suppose originally A was A had a value, A had a boolean value true, right? If I do not of A, right, A will become false. So not exactly does the opposite of it. So how do I write not? I just write NOT capital and the variable's name, right? So these are logical and other operators. Let's move on to the next topic. Now the next thing that we are going to understand is the assignment operator. What does the assignment operator do? First of all, what does the assignment operator looks like? The assignment operator is a big long arrow, right? And it is always pointing towards the left direction. Please make sure, a lot of students do this mistake and they do it like this. This is not the assignment operator. This is the correct assignment operator. Why do we use assignment operator? To either assign or store a value into a variable. For example, if I have A, right, and I need to say, I need to store the number 5 in A. So I'll write A arrow 5. This means I am storing the number 5 into A, right? Suppose I have two variables A and B. I have to do their sum. So I am doing sum A plus B. So what am I doing? I am storing A plus B's value to sum, right? This is assignment operator. Let's move on to the next thing. Coming to the next topic, that is data types. Now what are these data types? Why do we need these data types? Okay, suppose I need to create a program which adds A and B, right? If I need to create a program which adds A and B and I'm saying that this sum stores the value of A plus B and then I have to output this sum. Now the question will be, what is this sum? Right? I'm typing on my computer, I'm coding, I'm telling my system that this is the thing. How would my system, how would my computer, how would my device know what this sum is? Right? I am the programmer, I am coding. The system does not have its own brain. How would it know that I have to store a number inside this sum? Right? I have to store a number inside this sum. Hence, we created data types. Any variable that we are creating by ourselves, like I created sum here, you can create count, you can create any other variable. Any variable that we are creating by ourselves and is not predefined, the system does not have its own brain and can identify what that variable actually is. Will it store a number? Will it store a text? Will it store Boolean values? What are Boolean values? We'll discuss that, right? So that's why we created the concept of data types. Whenever I am creating something, I can assign that a data type so that my system is also aware that what I need to do with that variable, right? What are the data types? The first data type is integer. What is integer? Integer stores all of the whole numbers, right? Whole numbers like 2, 3, 99, 141, 1 lakh, 234. All of these values are integer values. So whole numbers is the integer data type, right? What is the real data type? If you have already done Python or Java, float is the variable that we use for real, right? What is real? Real is decimals, right? So 23.23, 1.49, 16.12, all of these values are real values, right? Anything that has a decimal point in it is a real value. Suppose I need to store 2. How would I store this 2 in integer? When I have to store 2 in integer, I can directly store this value 2. But if I have to store 2 in real, then I would have to store it as 2.0. So there is a difference of data type between 2 and 2.0. 2 is an integer whereas 2.0 is real, right? What is character? Character, a single character. A, 4, D. What are these? Single characters, right? So a char stores single characters. String stores alphanumeric values. It stores text or alphanumeric values, right? What is this text? What is this alphanumeric values? Alpha means alphabets, numeric means numbers. So it stores a mix of text and numbers, but it stores text. Even if I try to store a number in a string, it will consider that number to be text. It will blindly consider that number to be text. This is the property of string. So suppose I have to write hello. These are text. This is text, right? So I'll store it in string. Suppose I need to write hello 1, 2, 3. If I need to write this phrase, right? I cannot write it in integer because integer cannot store this alpha value, right? Alphanumeric. Where can I store this? I can store this in the string data type, right? Boolean. Boolean means two values only. If I have to create a variable that only has two values like on or off, or something like binary 0 or 1, true or false, right? True or false, yes or no. All of these values where I only have two choices is stored in Boolean, right? These all are the data types in the syllabus. Let's move on to the next topic. Coming to the next topic, which tells us the difference between variables and constants. Right, so what are variables? Variables are temporary storage, right? Both constants and variables, they both are temporary storage. But the difference is, variable can change during program execution. Constant is always fixed and it cannot change during the program execution. What do I mean by that? Suppose I create a variable called temp. Right, and as of now I am storing 5, right, and I am doing and the code is running and there is something that is happening with this temp variable. But now I feel that I need to store some other variable, right, in a temporary memory. So I won't create a variable like temp2, right? I can directly change this value of temp to some other value, suppose a. Right, this is the property of a variable, that it can change during the program execution any way I want, whereas a constant cannot do this. Once I declare a constant and I assign a value to a constant, how do I assign a value? Using the arrow operator, assignment operator. Once I assign a value to a constant, it will remain the same value throughout the program execution. I cannot change it, right? Whatever the value I have initialized into that constant, that same value will remain. Let's moving on to the next topic. Moving on to the last topic for today, that is declarations. How do we declare a variable then, right? You can create any variable in the world, any variable name. Like if you have to do something with addition, you can name your variable as add sum add ont, whatever short form you want to make. You can give any name to your variables. Just make sure that the name can also be like hello 1 2 3. It can also be alphanumeric, but variable names should not have special characters. It is advisable to not include special characters like @ $, or slash, or any other character, right? Underscore can be used, right? Like h_1. This is a variable name, but this is also advisable to avoid, right? So this is how you keep a variable name. How do you declare a variable? Let's see that. To declare a variable, right, you will write in capitals, because all of the key terms, right, we write in capitals in pseudocodes. So you write in capitals. This is the syntax. Syntax means how would you write the code, right? A rough structure of it. Declare variable name, whatever name you give to the variable, colon, its data type. Right? Let's see an example. Suppose in the whole video I was giving you an example of sum, right, which adds a and b. If I have to declare sum, I know that that variable uses integer or real, right? Whatever it is. I'm dealing with decimals or I'm not dealing with decimals, it depends on that. Let's consider the question scenario to be where I'm not dealing with any decimals, I'm dealing with integer, right? How would I declare that sum? I would say declare sum, what would be the data type? Integer in capital letters, right? Declare sum integer. Let me give you a homework question. So you need to declare found. What does this found do? Whenever user enters a number that I want to find, I would say that found becomes true. If I don't get the value which user enters, I will say that found is false. Declare this found. Which data type will it be? Decide that and then declare using this format. Okay, now we come to the end of this lecture. Thank you everyone for watching. If you want to visit our website, the WhatsApp community link is there in the description. Do join that community. You can personally message us on our WhatsApp numbers and get your doubts cleared, and also join our student community where you will find a lot of students from all over the globe just like you studying computer science, which might help you. right? And the website link is www.cambihub.com, which is the learning portal. You'll find past papers for all of the subjects, notes and worksheets and other resource materials, right? You can mail us at support@cambihub.com for business inquiries. If you have any doubts, I would be happy to answer them in the comments below. Or if you want to mail me your doubts, you can mail me at pranay@cambihub.com. Thank you everyone for watching. This is Pranay Arora signing off from CambiHub. I'll meet you in the next lecture.